Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a watch that's just as synonymous in the watch world as a Rolex Submariner, and that is the very famous and legendary Omega Speedmaster. So the Speedmaster is a racing chronograph that was made by Omega and actually was certified by NASA to go to outer space. So the story about how the Speedmaster became the official moon watch is that NASA put out an ad asking all watch manufacturers to send in a watch so then they could officially certify it as the official timekeeper for space missions by NASA. So that watch would always be synonymous with space and NASA. NASA asked about 11 manufacturers if they would place a watch to get tested, and only about 4 responded, and that was Rolex, Omega, Longines, and Hamilton. The Hamilton was disqualified right off the bat because they presented a pocket watch and not a wristwatch as NASA required. So that was a big loss on their part. Omega, Rolex, and Longines were the 3 contenders that were left. The Longines didn't make it through many of the tests, and the Rolex actually failed 2 of the tests completely. So the Omega Speedmaster was the only watch that got through all of the rigorous NASA testing and then became certified by NASA as the official space watch. And then in 1969, Buzz Aldrin wore that exact Omega Speedmaster and took his first step on the moon, and ever since then it's been known as the legendary moon watch. And it's a really iconic story, and it's an awesome story about how this watch became so legendary. All right, let's check it out. So it comes in this pretty big box, outer box. And this is the official Omega outer box for the new Speedmaster. And it's a pretty nice big black box, and it has a silver kind of engraved Omega logo right there. Looks like a pretty nice quality fancy outer box. So inside you get your operating instructions manual here. And you get all the warranty cards, the master chronometer certification, the pictogram cards all right here. Pretty cool. And underneath here, under this flap, there's a thing you pull right here. And you get this really cool Omega Speedmaster Legendary Moonwatch book, which features a lot of the history about the Speedmaster and the moon landing and the Apollo mission, which I think this is a really cool thing to include. Really makes the watch feel that much more special. And here is the watch box. I just love this watch box. It's so cool. It looks like something that you take to outer space with you. It has like this technical cloth exterior, but you could tell that this is wood. It looks about the same size, the exact same dimensions as the other wood Omega boxes that you get with other watches such as the Seamaster. And it looks like you just covered it up with this layer on top. And you get these Velcro straps to open it. It has like a really cool space theme to it. And there's the watch, beautiful. And up here, it says Omega Speedmaster Professional, and you have this nice lining inside. Another cool thing about this box, guys, is you open up this part down here, and in here, you can kind of pull this tray out, and this actually folds and is actually a watch box, like a travel case. So you can just stick your Speedy in there and good to go, travel. I think this is really nice and really useful. Yeah, it doesn't come with the huge box the previous gen Speedmaster came with, but I think this more than makes up for it. This is actually something I could see myself using and something that I value a little more. And I actually think this new box has a cleaner look to it, and it fits more in line with the rest of Omega's boxes. And God, this thing looks amazing. This presentation is so nice. I love how you get this black box and the watch is in the center, and everything just seems very nice and high-end. But let's take a look at this thing. Comes on this nice Omega pillow. Here's the watch, guys. This thing is stunning, and it's a huge improvement over the last model, especially with the bracelet. Just makes all the difference. And this model does have the Sapphire on top as well as the bottom. It's nicknamed the Sapphire Sandwich because of that. And you can see the new lugs, how they taper down like that. That's also a really nice improvement, and as you guys will be able to see, it'll make a huge difference in the way it fits. So the dials on this watch, the sub-dials on this watch are actually inspired by the older Italian sports cars dashboard, which I think is really cool. As a chronograph, it's supposed to be an automotive racing watch, and that's kind of what the purpose it was built for was. And because of the whole moon landing and their partnership with NASA, it kind of changed the direction of how we view this watch. But originally, yes, this was just a regular racing chronograph, which is mostly supposed to be used with automotive racing. Really nice signed Omega crown right there. And the finishing on this is really nice, very solid. See a Swiss made down there. They did change the font a little bit on the dial as well. And this new bracelet is kind of what everyone's talking about. So with the Hazelite version, it's brushed all around. But with the Sapphire version, the middle links, the edges kind of right there, they are polished, which I think gives it a more premium look. Pretty decent clasp. I think it's a very high quality clasp. Huge improvement over the last one. I think this one just looks so much cleaner and just clicks into place, just feels way more solid. And here's the price tag. So this watch retails for $71.50. And I gotta say, this new movement looks amazing. That's the benefit of the Sapphire sandwich. Yes, it's not as true to the original Moonwatch. Just getting that view more than makes up for it. I mean, there are a few watches that look this beautiful. So now on the back it says Master Chronometer, and then the first watch worn on the moon, versus the old one which did not say that. So the new movement in this is rated as a Master Chronometer, which is really cool. So better accuracy, slightly better specs. All right, let's get it on wrist and see how it fits. There it is on wrist, guys, and it fits beautifully. Just feels amazing. It doesn't feel like it's too big or too small. 42 millimeters, I mean, it's kind of like the perfect size for this watch. And it just has so much presence. And I gotta say, for people that are new to the Moonwatch and were looking at a Speedmaster but couldn't decide if they really wanted one, this model, I gotta say, is a huge step up from before. Because I've tried on the previous one and it just didn't have the same feeling. Maybe the bracelet makes that much of a difference. But I gotta say, the lugs and the case, it makes a huge difference. And this one has a step dial, like the Speedmasters prior to 1973. So you can kind of see on the minute track that it's stepped versus the model that it replaces, which does not have a step dial. And those sub dials just look so beautiful. The black and white contrast on this watch just works so well. And I gotta say, like, I think it's really amazing that Omega could get this watch certified for NASA and Rolex could not. And in a way, this watch feels more special than a Daytona because of that. It just has so much history, so much lineage, and it's just such a classic. It doesn't look like it's too in your face. It's something that every collector kind of has in their collection. And you know what they say, if you're a watch collector, you gotta have at least one of these. This, I would say, is my favorite chronograph. The Daytona is nice too. I'm not bashing the Daytona, but I'm just saying from my perspective, I just view the aesthetics of this watch as slightly superior to that of the Daytona. I don't know what it is, but this one just feels more like a tool watch. It just feels more robust, where a Daytona is kind of a little more on the flashy side. And I love how Omega always writes professional on their models. The Seamaster and the Speedmaster both, they have the professional writing under there. It kind of reminds you that this is the real deal and it's built for something and it does something amazing. Just like how the Submariner has a home in every collector's collection, this is also another watch that is right up in there. And you can't mention great watch collection without a Speedmaster. And just look at that box crystal. It just looks amazing. Everything about it sits so nice. I have a 6.5-inch wrist, so yes, I'm on the smaller side for wrist size. But, I mean, you could see the way the lugs taper around my wrist. It's like a perfect fit. I just love that about it. It's pretty cool to think that this was originally made for automotive racing. I mean, you have your diver, you have your dress watch, and then your chronograph just kind of completes the collection. And I think this is where it's going to stay in my collection, is that spot. So what do you guys think of the new Speedmaster? Let me know in the comments below. All right, see you guys next time.